Wow, that is a lot of S. Alright, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, we got an Iron Giant tier up at the top. Boom, we're done. This is the one's tier list. We're done. No explanation. That's it. Time to make a tier list. I could do tier list. Alright, we're doing tier list, I guess. First up, my number one in singles right now is this guy right here. This green little fella. Everyone's seen the Shaggy loops? Even with the Tacticate combos, he gets 90 damage off of most interactions. He has really good kill power. For some reason, down tilt's armored break, and gives him 90 and combos into itself while it's stale. Everyone knows what's up with Shaggy. He's really fast, he's really heavy, you can't kill him, but he's also one of the fastest characters in the game. This character just has like no real distinct flaws, and he's just so fast and gets so much off a hit, you can't keep up with him. And for that reason, I think he's number one. Up next, we got the baddie boy, Batman himself. He's good in like a lot of the same reasons as Shaggy. Like, he's super fast, can basically choose to run away at any point and not really lose neutral. Battering is like one of the best moves in the game to control space. You can just do battering as a get off me move, as a control space move to approach, because he can control where it goes. If he hits you with jab battering, he gets to jab battering at you again. He just does mad damage off of a hit. He has the best sharking in the game with his up B. His only real weakness is that he's a little light, and he's a bit big for how light he is, but that's it. That's literally it. He's so good in every other aspect of the game that you can't really put him much lower than this, I think. Up next, I'm gonna put in this boy right here, Tom and Jerry. I think Tom is absolutely crazy. There's two main reasons for it. There's the obvious damage loops, which he has with Jerry shot down air, and Jerry shot air does 90 damage, and if he does it right, but it's kind of hard. His down air hits above his head. He has like the best projectile space control of all the zoners in the game. If you compare Tom and Jerry to Bugs or Velma, like, yeah, Bugs and Velma are like super annoying with the space they control in ones, but nothing compares to just how good Jerry's shot is, because you can throw Jerry across the map. It forces your opponent to dodge. If you manage to land Jerry at their feet, Jerry will pop up and hit them because he's active the entire time. Triple Dynamite covers half the stage. He has so many setups just to combo into his up air. In general, I just think he's like crazy. I'm debating between Bugs and Superman for 4th and 5th. I think probably Bugs 4 and Superman 5th. Everyone knows the Bugs down air. The Bugs down air being super stupid, and if he hits it, he gets big 70 plus damage loops for the entire game. In general, the tunnel's utility is so good. Random items from safe and item pull can control a lot and force your opponent to approach you because you can always threaten them. His hit and run is okay. All of the nerfs towards Bugs have been towards his hit and run. Like, his forward air end lag has been increased, his up air end lag has been increased, his neutral air end lag has been increased. All of his like poke you safely stuff has been kind of reduced, and that was like one of the main strengths of the character. However, the other main strength, which was like the big thing that like really determines what makes the character overwhelming, it's just like, why does he do so much damage off of his down air? Like, that's what I've been advocating for a while now, is what I think the changes to Bugs should have just been damage reduction on his combos, but instead they chose neutral. I missed a character, so sorry in advance, fellas, for people who wanted me to have Bugs at 4th. I actually have Jake as my 4th. Jake cannot lose unless he chooses to lose. I have a theory for Jake. I have a theory for Jake that I'm going to talk about, okay? This character, the only way Jake ever loses is if he chooses. Like, you have to be like a sociopath to win with this character. Forward air with Jake is punishable by 3 characters in the game. Batman being fast enough to punish it, and Tom and Jerry and Velma forcing him to approach because of their projectiles being able to hit him. This character is like legitimately loses those 3 matchups and probably beats everyone else. Though seriously, he shouldn't ever lose neutral. His moves are too safe and he should never let anyone get in. The only reason this character ever loses is because he gives up and does something stupid, or just does something dumb, and that's the only way you can ever get hit. And it really just boils down to a couple moves. Forward air is the main one. The stretch is crazy. Down air combos into itself for 30 damage, but then you can also combo it into Nair Bite, which does 40 damage plus 5 stacks of weaken, plus sets them into a 50-50 off stage that can kill them at any percent. He can float around with like an endless hover recovery, cycling between Nair and his other moves. At least some of the other characters in here, like, they have to at least play neutral to get their openings, right? And for that reason, he has to be this high. Who do I want to do next? Superman. Boom. This will probably be my last S tier character, I think. Superman in ones can just time everyone out, okay? This is Superman. This is a Superman theory moment, okay? Superman can just endlessly double jump laser, and no one can contest him because he can dodge away and his dodges are so good. He can spam Ice Breath and refuse to play against his opponent. Literally no counterplay. For that reason alone, if he decides to play lame enough, he just beats people, you know? Everyone who's seen Superman up smash, prepare for this. Alright, that hits behind him, okay? How about this? That hits him. That hits. Why does that hit? Why is that hitting him? This is an up smash that he's swinging in front of him, and it just hits behind him by so much. It doesn't matter if moves hit someone. What makes sense is the visuals, okay? Let's do Bugs for an example, right? Bugs, when he does his up air, he starts his hands by swinging behind him. What that means is when Bugs does an up air, he hits whoever's behind him. Just because a move visually hits somewhere does not mean it should. Like, I don't think this should exist, for example. I think all of these characters in S are like a bit too strong. That's probably going to round out my S tier. And up next, I'm going to put Harley in here. Everyone knows what's good about this character, dude. She's so good. Harley has an infinite and can hit the entire cast with it. It's just really hard to do. But her stage control is crazy with Box and Bat Bomb. Her frame data is some of the best frame data in the game. Like, her only real weaknesses is that she has like a slow run speed and she's kind of light. But she can augment her run speed really well. Like, if you do a normal jumping forward air with Harley, it looks like this. It's kind of slow. If you do a dodge jump into it, she goes like flying across the stage. Like, she could cover like half the stage with a forward air, and each one of these can set up into an infinite if she does it right. She has some weaknesses. She has like, in general, she kind of has like a weaker recovery. Hammer has a lot of end lag if she misses it. Sometimes her moves just like stop functioning and just go through people, like the hitboxes disappear. But this character's like crazy good, and the only reason she's below the characters in S tier is because of how hard she is. If someone learns Harley's combo game and gets really good with it, she's like up here. But until someone gets to that level with the character, I probably should have her around here. Arya gotta be next. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this beforehand. I don't want to rank Arya high because my teammate plays Arya, and if I get Arya ranked low, then she's more likely to get buffed. So on that note, I'm putting Wonder Woman next. Incredibly fast, incredibly disjointed moves, decent combo game, heavy as shit. Armor is crazy and it's just a win neutral tool. If she reads an air dodge off stage at like any percent, you die. And she's just good. Everyone knows how this character works. She's just the all-arounder of the cast. I just have to think about which one I want next. I'm going to say Finn. I think rebuffed Finn is up here. Finn is so fast and hard to play against, especially once he gets a stack of Boots of Speed going. Blazy, I'm going to be real with you. This character's so good, dude. His hitboxes are crazy. They're the size, every one of his hitboxes is the size of the moon. His damage output is decent. His ability to put his opponent into a disadvantage and try to fish for down tilt kills or any kills is like okay. What are you supposed to do when Finn decides to just double jump across the screen with a gem in hand? He gets a bit walled out by projectiles. Like, he has some projectile counterplay, but for the most part, like, that's like his one thing. So I think I can't really have him any lower than this. Up next, we're going Steven. Steven can just like build a house. There's no other way to describe this character. His forward air and neutral air are incredible neutral tools that control a lot of space. His side B is like his forward shield is a really good anti-projectile counter. It just keeps all projectiles out. He can prevent people from jumping in on him from above by doing his up B in place, which can also set into really good combo loops off of it. Rose Bomb is a really great threatening tool, which means your opponent can't combo you for a couple of seconds whenever it's active, or else they'll get hit by it. Whenever Rose Bomb is out, you cannot get comboed for a couple seconds. Your opponent is forced to just one and done you and run away, because if they don't, they'll get hit. He's just a solid character all around, and he also has some matchups where he's just disgusting. The next one in the list, I'm going to stop downplaying now. I'm going to put Arya here. Arya's a mixed bag, okay? This character has some really good matchups and some really bad ones. Arya's combo game is really good. She can 50-50 you into a lot of damage off of like any opening. Kill power is ridiculous in terms of she knocks you off stage, she makes one guess, you literally die. The threat of the knife throw is crazy because if that hits you, you take a huge chunk. She's just like decently solid all around. The last character I'm going to throw in this tier is Velma. Velma nerfs. She's still really strong in doubles, but I think they hurt her quite a bit in singles. Like, I used to think she was up here in singles, but now she's down here. Velma's just got like a laser which forces air dodge at all times, and she can cancel it and redo it at any point. Homing speech bubble is crazy. Up B dare still does a good amount even if it doesn't loop for 60 anymore. Her forward air is one of the best forward airs in the game because it's incredibly disjointed and keeps people off of her. Her spike is incredibly strong, one of the best down airs in the game. Now that her projectiles have been nerfed a little bit, her frame data is just like not quite enough to keep up with the characters above her, but she's still really solid. Like, her zoning is so good. Next in this tier we got Garnet. Decent moves, decent speed, decent projectiles, a little bit of end lag, a little bit too much startup on some of the moves. Garnet, she's okay. Her keeping up with some of the other characters in the air just feels so hard. She doesn't have like enough tools to keep up with the character above her. I could see her getting some quality of life stuff could put her right up in here. Up next for ones, I'm gonna put in the dog. Character with some strengths. Everyone already knows how annoying it is to get on Rain Dog. Like, that's like the whole point of the character, that he's like really annoying to get in on. Fireball is active and really slow. You can't really get past it. He can choose to release his normal power shot whenever he wants to. The main struggle of Rain Dog is his disadvantage is kind of awful. Like, he probably has the worst disadvantage of any character in the game. You get it on Rain Dog, you destroy him. He can like kind of jump away with his up B, but that's like about it. He does good damage. He zones out pretty well. It's just a combination of his disadvantage sucks and he can't find kills it reasonably early that just keep other characters above him. I'm gonna have the James himself. This character's not that strong in ones. LeBron's got some stuff. A lot of the LeBron loops are like really good and do good damage, but he has a couple issues. The biggest issue for LeBron, outside of any of the rest of this cast, out of all the characters who have loops, his are by far like one, the hardest to do, and two, the hardest to set up. Like the best way of doing it is you have to hit like down air with like no ball in your hand. It's just his zoning is a little too weak, and his combos are a little too hard to start to keep up. If he gets those things improved, he could be really good. Real quick, dead last, I'm gonna put Taz. His combo game, while decent in terms of how many hits you hit on someone, all of his moves do 0 damage. Like you can hit a full Taz string and do 27. You do the same thing on Shaggy, you do 90 and get a kill confirm off of it. Tornado and Cloud are pretty decent kill moves, although they get beaten out by a lot of things. It's just whatever. Morty, I'm gonna try to tier Morty. I'm gonna preface this in saying that I have no idea if he will actually be this good or not, but I think this character has a lot of shit. And I think once someone discovers all of it and gets consistent with it, he could be good. I'm going to throw in Morty right here. This character's setups for combos are by far the hardest setups in the game. As of right now, everyone's day 1 Morty is like down here. Okay, this is like day 1 Morty. I think month 1 Morty is going to be like right here. I think Morty, once he gets figured out, he'll have decent zoning, but like kind of whack combos and potentially some 0 to death combos that we don't know about. I think he will get there. We just have to see. Final character. All right, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, we got an Iron Giant tier up at the top. Boom, we're done. This is the one's tier list. We're done. No explanation. That's it. We're done. We're good. If I were to actually tier him, it'd be like right here. So here's the thing about Iron Giant in ones, okay? He's got some stinkers. When he doesn't have bolts up, there's like several characters in the game who can infinite him. This character is built around bolt management, and then whenever you don't have bolts, getting them back as fast as possible to prevent getting infinited. His hitboxes are huge. Like all of his hitboxes are 3 times the size of any visual. In this recent patch, they allowed him to cancel out of down B on hit now, so now he can combo out of down B if he chooses to do so. He gets bolts back really quickly with good perk selection. He's just decent. It's just the thing is about this character is he's got to be careful, right? If you're putting Little Timmy versus Little Tommy, right? And one of them plays Iron Giant and the other one is playing Finn, the human. What is Finn going to do to this Iron Giant when the bolts are down? This character is so overwhelming at a low level that it's incredible. So we're gonna have him there. This is about what I think the tier list is for ones. I think that's about right.